kiddos. This is take 2 because Mr. Cannon walked in right in the middle of take 1. So let's see what happens. I know already you're like, whoa, what's going on, Mr. Anders? That beard is amazing. It is. You're right. Looking pretty sharp. So it's No Shave November. I never make it a whole month, but we'll see what happens. Okay, we've got 1 unit left this trimester, and it's encompassing all of the Revolutionary War. So there's a lot to cover. Let's start by going somewhere. So I'm going to pick a class at random here. This week we'll pick 7th hour. All these pages are going to look the same, so I'm not sure it matters much. On the Start Here page, this video is going to be right here on top. But below this video is going to be this list of what we're doing when. Okay? We're covering the war from Lexington and Concord, which is technically before the war, but it's really the first battle of the war, all the way through the peace treaty. Now in real time, that covers from 1775 all the way to 1783. So that's a huge chunk of time we're going to cover in 2 weeks. We're not going to have time to do every battle justice, but I want to pick some of the big ones, some of the ones that really had a large impact on the war, so you can get an idea of what it was like. Okay, so looking through this, on Monday and Tuesday, we're going to go through the British and American advantages and disadvantages. That probably, for most of these classes, is not going to take the whole class hour. So we're going to try and work ahead and just cover as much as we can so we have more time to review at the end. But in theory, we cover that Monday and Tuesday. We're going to be doing that through a slideshow as well as through some videos. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we've got the battles of Bunker Hill, Ticonderoga, Boston, New York, New Jersey, whole bunch of stuff that mostly happens in 1775, 1776. Okay, again, videos primarily. There are a few slideshows, I think, about all that. And then your Friday work this week is going to be to watch a little video about the winter encampments. I think it's like a 14-minute video. And then take a Kahoot, which is going to be both a preview or review. It's going to cover what we get through this week and preview what we're covering next week. And pretty much every single thing in that Kahoot is on the test. So use that. It'll be a resource. And I'll be able to check and see who was online on Friday. So it's a win-win for me. All right. Then the second week, we're going to work on the rest of the war. So the war is kind of fought in the north, and then it shifts and is mostly fought in the south. So we're going to go with that shift, cover some of those other battles, work our way into the south, and talk about eventually the actual peace treaty of Paris. That should leave us some time on Wednesday and Thursday to have some kind of review before we take this test. And it's a big test. It's worth the same amount of points as your brochure, the same amount of points as that Unit 2 or 3 test. So there's a lot on the line. Take notes. Use all the resources, and I'm going to show them to you here in a minute. Study, put some time into this. You cannot afford to really botch this grade this late in the term. It'll be bad for you. So be proactive, kiddos. Let's take a look. The unit this time, I just opened it up. It's Unit 8, the Revolution. Let's see what we got. So this is the same information as before, okay? One thing I forgot to mention on that last page is the video on Valley Forge. I'm going to put right there on the Start Here page, and I'll also put the Kahoot link up on that page. But here on Unit 8, let's just walk through everything that's here. We'll start down the middle column. This is just what we talked about on the other page, what's going on when. Your strengths and weaknesses, those are right here. I might put a lesson together on those, but really the PowerPoint's pretty self-explanatory, so I may or may not make a video lesson of that one. Okay. Then we've got this one about the battles of the Revolutionary War. Again, this is one Mr. Cannon made, and I've played with a little bit. It's pretty comprehensive, so I may make a video to add some extra stuff to it, but you might as well just look through the slideshow if you're not in class. That should give you enough information to be able to do okay on the test. And this last one's some documents that just cover what happened at Lexington and Concord. So we can look into that, and it's very similar the way this is structured as it was when we did the Boston Massacre, how we had these different sources, different pictures, and we had to try and figure out what actually happened. So that is very similar. There's questions there and you need to answer them, but you don't need to answer them for me to turn them in for an assignment. It's just there to reinforce to you what happened at the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Okay, back up here we've got websites that have to do with this topic, and there's some good ones. This one here, the Battlefield Trust, I might regret clicking on this, but well, that's frustrating. I'm gonna have to double check and see what happened to that, because that's kind of an important one. I'm gonna have to check all of these, which is frustrating. I just put them on there and they were working earlier. So I'll take a look at this, but we'll have some links to websites that should be able to help you out with just general knowledge, the stuff we cover in class and a ton of stuff we don't. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of videos here. One by the Battlefield Trust here. I really like their setup. So it's an animated thing, and I just want to
win their first battle, but the revolution has only in session in Philadelphia.
So they're going to have maps, talk about what's going on in between. This is a great overview of the entire war. Okay, we've got a video on Bunker and Breeds Hill. That's something we're going to cover probably Monday and Tuesday. On the sheet up here it says we're doing it Wednesday, but I bet we get to that today. We've got a video for Trenton and Princeton. This is another really good history video on how did England actually lose. In theory, on paper, they should have kicked our butt, frankly. So it'll do a good job of kind of explaining some of that. Oh, I should probably move these order around a little bit. So we've got the Treaty of Paris. I'm actually going to move that down to the bottom. Okay, we've got Yorktown, Valley Forge, which should be up here. Saratoga should be up here. All right, these are in a little better order now. So if you watch these different videos, it's going to kind of cover things in the same time frame, in the same order. I'm going to cover most of them in class. I've tried to put a video up for everything that's on the test. The only thing I can think of that's not is maybe Camden, so I'll look into that. At any rate, you've got a lot of information here, and we're covering things over the course of 2 weeks. If you're out of class, COVID, quarantine, you're sick, okay? You just need to look through here, see what we're working on that day, and there's corresponding videos or PowerPoints. If I do make extra lessons, I'll put them up right here, okay? One thing I wanted to cover is this winter at Valley Forge. That's the exact video you're going to have to watch on Friday for your Friday work this week. If you want to get ahead, you may, that's fine. One less thing for you to do, okay? The Friday work won't be here under Unit 8. It'll be on the Start Here page, but it will not be there till Friday. So that's it for your how-to, and I'll see if I can build some lessons for you, and I'll double check these links. Thank you.